All right, boys.
All right, we're going tour.
We're doing it in hot. I'm building on the back of the cart.
Yeah, hear the crowd.
Yo, here's our armor rockets for you. Rockets for rockets.
It's a lot of
You're just making a zoo, but instead of animals, it's dinosaurs.
yeah, but then it takes it a step further, because then like if a dinosaur goes rogue or something, like breaks out, you can like get in a helicopter and then you actually fly the helicopter and then you shoot it with like tranq darts. But like you control the guy, so it's like kind of like GTA. You're like in the helicopter and you're like shooting the dinosaur.
What upcoming game are you most looking forward to?
That is possibly at E3.
If a game that's in 2019, I'll go with Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm trying to think of all the games that I saw. Probably Smash. Smash owns.
Smash is
That's fair. You can't go wrong with
You
that.
can't go wrong with Smash.
Clock.
Kingdom Hearts or Smash.
I like hope that Pokemon Let's Go is good. Smash I feel like is gonna be good, but if it's like the same floaty physics as Smash 4 and the controls feel like it's not gonna be good.
That Spider-Man game looked good.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man game owns.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk-
Spider-Man
it just
Arkham
has-
Asylum.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
So ready.
Where are we going?
So ready, John. I've never been more ready in my life.
Have you never been more ready?
Never in my life.
Okay, thank you.
How's it going? But you should be sitting in this comfortable DS racer chair instead of just standing. How you feeling?
Great.
Comfortable. How are your knees treating you, dude?
How was your guys' experience with at the T-Mobile booth?
It was good. It was fun. T-Mobile owned. Yeah. It feels nice to be wanted by someone that's not John.
This DX Racer I'm lounging in is literally the most comfortable experience I've ever had.
Pretty
Oh!
They ask me what I'm doing, and I say, oh, it's thinking.
You bite your popsicle?
Yeah. I'm ready to eat it, man. I have to eat the calories and eat the sugar.
Boing.
You want to be trapped in a vault?
It's like an MMO, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Fallout series.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 was good,
I
but
never
not.
played Fallout 4 and we played Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Is it like World of Warcraft? Like,
I think you're like you're like supposed to like build settlements and like nuke each other and stuff.
Seems cool. I didn't really like Fallout 4, so
3 in New Vegas were better.
we'll see if 76 is good.
it's actually true. I took a course called Dinosaurs. Birds are actually technically classified under dinosaurs.
Big.
They are. You think I'm joking?
Do you think Jurassic World could happen one day?
Yeah, probably. I think we have the technology. Like I said, we have animals that either lived next to dinosaurs or evolved from dinosaurs alive today. Like alligators and crocodiles. Like they've been alive for millions and millions of years, John. They're like archosaurs. Birds evolved from these things.
Me and Rockets are going pro in this.
So we can obviously make them.
I feel like we could. Didn't they bring back a mammoth? Didn't they like bring back a mammoth?
Alright, so in the last week of the season, in order to qualify for playoffs, we had to beat both Philly and New York. And also, if we did beat them both, there was a few other things that had to go in our favor, which actually didn't end up going in our favor, so what can you do? But we tried to put everything into that Philly and New York game because we knew after those two games, if we had won both of them, it was out of our hands. So we just wanted to do everything we could to make sure that we made it into playoffs. The Philly game we prepped really hard for, and it paid off really well. It felt really good to finally beat them because they are one of the few teams we hadn't beat really ever up until that point, and all our games against them had been really close. So beating them felt very nice because not only did it increase our chances of actually making the playoff, it knocked them almost out of the playoffs. It made them have a game that they had to win in order to make it. The New York game, it was really close. It was the day after the Philly game, so we didn't get to prep as much as we probably wanted to, but I still think that it kind of favored us just because we're a very momentum-based team, and going into that match, we are all really confident. We just tried our best and we fell very short. I would say I'm definitely proud of how we performed. We did what we can and we put so much prep into this last little bit of the season when we knew that it was do or die, and I'm really proud of how hard we worked, and I think that I'm pretty confident going into season 2 because I think that we've learned so much in this last little bit of stage 4 that we can apply it a lot to season 2.
They use tools. They're really smart.
There's always been able to be.
You don't know about that?
Why are you silencing?
They'll use like cars to break nuts open. Like they know this is a road. They know cars are gonna travel on, so they'll drop the nut on the road so the car runs it over. That's pretty smart to me. Hello.
These are for everyone.
I can have.
These are for Jerry.
They're not there for everyone.
Here's
Cheers, it's for you.
This looks good.
Is there one for
So
me?
is Zarya.
Later, someone needed to breathe out.
We're gonna try the Torb on second, and when we stall out on second, like we run out of ults or whatever, we go dive Brig with Widow. But Li Jiang is pretty much gonna be exactly as we practiced.
What did I learn from season 1? I feel like there's like all these little small lessons of just how to do things, how to, put out a consistent performance for weeks and weeks and weeks in a row, and not really have peaks and valleys as much as you can avoid it. And, even across scrims, just being really consistent is like the #1 goal. So I guess like the major learning experience of season 1 was kind of like getting closer to that consistency.
You have to be at your very best on more than just like a game level to be successful in the Overwatch League. You need to be like as relatively stress-free as you can be, like eat healthy, exercise probably. Just try to make yourself like the best person you can be, not necessarily the best player you can be, because being a best player will just follow up on you being a better person, I think. A lot of people struggle to maintain, the focus and the stress level required to really perform at their best the entire season. As you'd expect, it's a very long and grueling season. So,
I think what I learned from the season 1 is how important taking care of yourself is to not burn out, and like how to balance your life around the new league. For me, it was quite stressful, and I don't think I ever really showed it, but I was like struggling, like putting everything into the game.
My answer is maybe assembling system for feedback to players immediately, I think.
The biggest thing I learned really is how important maximizing your time is, and using your time effectively to practice, and being super efficient is the key to success.
I think what I learned the most about season 1 was how to become a better teammate. I know that sounds like cliche, but becoming a better teammate and like supporting your teammates when they're down or when they're not playing well is probably one of the best things you can do, because if someone is getting destroyed by another player and they're not feeling too good and they're saying they're getting destroyed, you need to help them. You need to be able to support them and bring them back up and then find a way to win. I think being the best possible teammate in that retrospect, like learning how to become a teammate like that, is probably the most valuable thing you can do.
I'd say the biggest thing I learned from season 1 of the Overwatch League is how to properly prep for matches. In the past, before Overwatch League, matches or tournaments were a lot more spread out and stuff. And here in the Overwatch League, it's very different. So it did take me some time to adjust to the new ways to practice and scout other teams. But I think that towards the end of the season, I had a pretty effective method that I am very thankful I figured out, because I can apply it to next season. And in stage 1 and the early stages of next season, I think I'll be able to perform a lot better than I did in the early stages of this season.
What I learned most from season 1 is sort of reinforcing something that I already knew. Just the importance of maximizing everything you do. We struggled with that a lot in some of the earlier stages, and then towards the end, we were finally becoming efficient in the way that we thought about the game, and also the way that we thought about practice. And we could notice the improvement after we made those adjustments.
I learned a lot about the stuff that goes on outside the game. I feel like I learned a lot about the game as well, but a lot of it was more so how to study the game, how to fix problems, how to even find out what problems you're making, stuff along those lines. I think that was a big thing that everyone started to realize, because from before Overwatch League to Overwatch League, there was a big change in how sort of teams operated and worked, and there's a lot of there's a big learning process there.
Big.
Yeah, that's really good because usually for my rollout, please kill Carpe. Please kill Carpe. I like that one. 3. Wait.
Please kill Carpe.
Let's everyone decide.
I'm gonna say just let's win this, and you guys say heck yeah.
All right. Heck yeah.
Okay. Just heck. One. Let's win!
Heck yeah!
The biggest challenge for us as a team, and it speaks to every player in the team, was when we had losses. We had trouble dealing with pressure and stress. Some players were really hard on themselves. They would take the loss their fault. They would say it's my fault that we lost, and because of that they would feel really bad and feel different, and it would make the way they work with the team different. Overcoming that feeling has been the biggest challenge in my opinion.
I think as a team the biggest challenge we faced was what kind of team we started as, kinda from stage 1, and what kind of team we ended as in stage 4, and it's there's a lot of different things that come to it, into obviously different arguments, fights, lessons learned, that kind of stuff. And I think that's still an obstacle even going to season 2, that you have to think what kind of team we are and how do we want to play the game.
I think it's united everyone's game sense and game knowledge for the winning. Yeah.
The biggest struggle we faced in season 1 as a team was our adaptation. I think that stage 1, kind of the meta, naturally favored us already. Then it shifted into stage 2 and stage 3, and some of our weaknesses were kind of exposed, and I think we kind of failed overall to adapt. Stage 4 came around, and that was, more favorable towards our natural play style, so it worked out pretty well. But I think in the future we're going to need to really develop more flexibility if we want to be successful.
I think that it's just incredibly hard to stay focused for however many months it was, 6 months of just nonstop playing. Every single week you have a new match, you have to prepare for it in a very short amount of time. You need to make sure that you're prepared, make sure that you're feeling good on a personal level. It's just a very overwhelming feeling. The Overwatch League is more of a long distance run, and not a lot of people have the stamina, I think, to maintain the run, and that's been shown with the ups and downs that different teams have had the whole season, ours included. So
I think the biggest challenge for us in season 1 was stage 2 and 3 and not having a tracer player. I think that was exceptionally hard because we were trying to find players that weren't comfortable on it but tried to learn it. And it's one of those heroes that you need to practice for a year or 2, because it's not really about aiming, it's more about movement and timing, and that's something you just don't learn. It comes with experience. So it took a while, but we were starting to get the groove of it towards the end, but it was just too late. So that was probably our biggest struggle.
Just win forehead? Just the forehead.
Just
win forehead.
Yeah, say
just win
and we'll say forehead.
Okay, then
Just
I will
win forehead. Okay.
3, 2, 1, just win!
Forehead! That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Oh man.
That's a quality one.
So made.
What you want that?
We take those.
You got this, Arhan. Hanzo, God.
Arhan.
It doesn't get bigger than 100. We already won. Why are we even going out there? Just give us the cup.
Whoa.
The cup.
Give us the cup.
See that? Love to see that.
I'm actually.
God, you're wasting cups. I'm not even.
My favorite moment of season 1 was probably, I've gave so many different answers when I answer this question, honestly. I've been asked on the stream and I give a different answer. I just got asked recently for the Overwatch League broadcast and I gave a different answer. The memory I remember the most is probably the first time we beat Dynasty, just because Miro is a player I've looked up to for a very, very long time. I got first noticed for my skill really on Winston, and he was sort of the pioneer of Winston. So he was a player I looked up to a ton, and being able to beat him felt really nice because I've been looking up to him for a very long time. It's been like a year, so it felt pretty cool.
I'm really bad with good moments. I think my favorite memory is just like overall the whole experience. You know, moving to America, playing in such a big league, and like being part of that is like a happy thing for me.
Not a special, but to me, just every time it's just special to me.
I don't even know. I don't feel like I'll have one thing to look back on. It's kind of like all the little experiences, you know, like little things, funny things that happen in matches, or you know, with players from other teams, players from this team, like just all the experiences. I'll like remember. Like I can't even put my finger on one thing that was super amazing. It was more like just an insane place to be for a few months, and you know, a really cool group of people to work with.
I had a lot of fun with the content we made with the lemon challenge. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I remember that.
Probably making the stage playoffs in stage 1. We had a really hyped match going into it against Boston, and it was like one of the most exciting games we had up until that point, and we made it into the stage playoffs and kind of defied expectations at that point, so it was really fun.
There are a lot of good moments in the Houston Outlaws. I think the best one I had was playing London, stage 2. It was the first match in which I played majority of the maps, and we weren't expected to do well in terms of we were a meta team stage 1. It was only because the meta was good for us, and then stage 2 we were going to be one of the worst teams, and we ended up pulling out the victory, and it was in such an insane match, and it was a really good memory, just winning that final map day.
It's hard to pick one favorite moment, I would say, from the season. You know, I really just take a collection of small things from my teammates that, you know, all of them have made me laugh, have made me annoyed, have done, like everything just comes into one, and it's a very pleasant memory of just, you know, being able to spend that much time with people that I care about, people that I think are really cool, really close friends of mine, and try to achieve something big. So,
for me, being signed later, my favorite memory of season 1 is actually when I first got the message. It's like, hey, what's up, dude? We're interested in picking you up. Like, do you wanna join the Overwatch League? And I was like, it was like really random. It was like 4 in the morning my time. Like I'm lying on my couch, like watching something on Netflix. It was that, and then a few months later, like debuting on stage. It's when it like all finally hit you that you were here and you were a part of something great.
I'm dead. Back up.
It's a huge shadow, bro. I think we can stay with Trent. Wait. Okay, I'm pitting there, Ryan. I've grabbed Lewis.
Slurp after this trend. Slurp now.
Yeah, he's better put that.
Hi, John.
I mean, that's what happens when you start a last map.
I'm just like the point. There's like you come in. There's like the point. Then there's like that white awning.
And they capped first and almost got second, so they'll probably do it again in OT. Yeah.
For that, they rolled out right and went under.
Oh, okay, I got this one. I think my favorite in-game moment is when we played Torbjorn on Blizzard World Attack towards the end of season stage 4. I think the practice leading up to it and the comms leading up to it was like, okay, boys, Jake claps, let's go, it's Torb time. I'm just like, yeah, okay, this is what we practiced, guys.
My favorite in-game moment, it's hard. Okay, so like I rang for Jury, or I played for Jury one week, and I played Farah on Eichenwald against Seoul. And I didn't play Farah at all back then. Like I already don't play it now a little bit, but I definitely didn't play it back then. So I was like kind of like winging it, and it was like a last minute like, oh, I have to sub in for Jury, like let's try to win this. And I hit like some of the craziest air shots I've ever seen. No one else saw it, the camera didn't see it, but it happened. It was actually insane. I like air shot Toby, who was like valking across the map. It was like insane. And then I died a whole bunch, but for that one small little moment in time, it was like the best. I hit like the best air shots I've ever seen, but it'll never be seen. Definitely happened. Mark it, John. It happened on the record.
It was stage 3 against Dallas Fuel. We were playing Blizzard World, and I think that they were like on their final push and attack, and it's overtime, and they're up like 3 or 4 players on us, but I'm still alive on the point, and I killed like 4 people by myself because they never turned to attack me at all, and then we won off that, and I think I got player of the day because of that.
I still think my favorite moment was when we were playing against Boston, and we both were 6-3, and whoever won got into stage 1 playoffs, the first playoffs, you know. And we're playing on Eichenwald, and there's Gamsu sitting over there on the bridge. We're losing the fight, and he accidentally emotes. And he sits on the top of the bridge, he's just emoting, and we just get a free kill. We win the fight, and we cap the map. That's the only reason why we won the fight. He just sits there and emotes, and we just scream, he's emoting. And that was like the best moment that was the funniest and best moment for us, I feel like. That would just like, it just like sent us into momentum, and we won the series.
I think it was probably beating, we beat Seoul at the end of stage 2 or something. And I like played Junkrat in a bunch of places that we had just not practiced, and we were like, maybe it'll work. And you know, Tyrong said, you know, hey, if you think it makes sense, then you know, go for it. So we had to like full hold Hanamura, and I was like, let's try it.
We're cupping, chill, we're cupping.
Texas.
This is such a Texas moment.
Come on. Touch.
Run away, you ran away. Maria? Ball is there! One more! No, the Brig is not gonna do anything here. Oh wait, Muma?
Korea's a hero, man.
The Kree was better, for sure.
Call him. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, you're gonna watch me undress now?
I stole Spree's backpack.
I think the plans for the off-season is just going to be relaxing, focusing more on myself. Been hitting the gym recently, so I'm going to focus on that as well, like personal health. I'm going to travel a bit, either go to Cancun, Bali, probably, you know, some countries in Europe, not sure yet, but definitely travel, focusing more on myself, and yeah, that's it.
My plans for the off season are pretty banal, honestly. I'm gonna try to travel a bit, go home, see family, but other than that, like, I think I'm just gonna work on being healthier, promoting healthier habits, get on a good diet, get on the exercise grind, like expand my horizons a bit. Just take an interest in other stuff besides strictly gaming.
Of course, I'm going to do anything, especially consult for my players, have some discussion about what they have a question to me or some curious things needed to solve to answer by me here.
I'm really horrible at making plans, but there's a lot of things I would like to take my girlfriend to. So a lot of movies to watch, Santa Monica, the gallery thing somewhere in Glendale. Maybe visit Finland and then practicing for World Cup.
Just take time for myself, more relaxing, but still like grinding Overwatch. Still like trying to improve my play, improve my mentality in game. Try to find a game. I play Realm Royale. I might like try to like get really good at it and stream it as well. Maybe have a vacation, and I'll also go back to my family to meet them.
My plans for the off season are to just go home, visit my family and my friends that I haven't seen in so long. I have like a lot of really close friends from high school and college. We went to like the same high school, and a lot of us went to the same college or like continued hanging out when we were in college. So I have very close friends that I haven't seen in 8 months now.
I'd say stop living day to day / week to week. I think that's a big thing. It'll be nice to take a step back and just sort of focus on the big picture and just everything in general, rather than like working towards the match at the end of the week throughout every day.
I feel like a kid who is just now on summer break. Like towards the end of the season, I was like, man, I can't wait for the season to end. It's gonna be like summer. The off season is summer. I get to go have fun and do things. And then as soon as the season ended, I like slept for like 48 hours straight, and I woke up and I was like, man, I'm bored. I want to go back to scrims. I'm gonna focus on World Cup, obviously. I've never had a chance to try out for it, so I really want to make it this year. And other than that, I'll probably just stream a lot, actually. Just stream a lot.
Plans for the off season, nothing really concrete yet, just chilling. Probably go back and visit family.
I'm gonna get back into streaming again, so that's a big thing. I think like the biggest thing is just taking it easy for a while and not, it's nice to have a few weeks of just not being super stressed out all the time. The nature of the Overwatch League is that when you're in season, there's like a ton of intensity and pressure, and then in the off season, a lot of that goes away. You have a lot bigger time scale to work on. So it actually isn't the right play to just keep grinding 100%, so taking some time to relax and then, reapproach the game and have a better mentality. I'm looking forward to all those things.